Right now at noon, the 4th of July is right around the corner, and we have some tips and tricks on how to keep you and your family safe this Independence Day.
And the summer heat and summer storms continue tonight and through the rest of the weekend.
Plus, the public rolled into the Skateland Fun Center of Neosho last night for a good time and a good cause.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Oklahoma's school superintendent wants to incorporate the Bible and the 10 Commandments in state classrooms. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Malik Snowy. The announcement came at a state board of education meeting in response to a key ruling from the state Supreme Court. Ryan Walters is calling for every Oklahoma classroom, 5th grade through 12th, to have a Bible and says teachers must instruct from it in grades 5 through 12.
The Bible is a necessary historical document to teach our kids about the history of this country, to have a complete understanding of Western civilization, to have an understanding of the basis of our legal system, and is frankly, when we're talking about the Bible, one of the most foundational documents used for the Constitution and the birth of our country.
Oklahoma's highest court this weekend blocked an attempt to create the nation's first publicly funded religious charter school. The Oklahoma Education Association yesterday issued a response saying, in part, quote, teaching about the historical context of religion and the Bible is permissible. However, teaching religious doctrine is not permissible. Public schools cannot indoctrinate students with a particular religious belief or religious curriculum. The state superintendent cannot usurp local control and compel education professionals to violate the Constitution, end quote. Now let's go to meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney for a look at the forecast.
Well, temperatures already starting to warm up by noon. It's up to about 86, good visibility, and clouds are starting to break apart a little bit. We had overcast conditions this morning, but we are clear up a little bit before more clouds roll in with some storms later on this afternoon. Now temperatures across the region still pretty cool up north, 76 in Stockton, 78 in Fort Scott, 79 in Iola, but warmer in those southern counties. We've got 87 in Veneta and Jay, 89 in Bella Vista, 86 in Joplin. Not too bad out there. We are going to continue to warm up. Now we've got a heat advisory issued, and that is for most of our counties out in Kansas and a couple counties out in Oklahoma as well. That is due to heat index getting up to 108 degrees today. Then we also have an excessive heat warning that is in the bright purple, and that's due to heat index getting up to 114 today. Likely this will continue through Saturday, and we also have some more storms to talk about. I'll have those details in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you soon, Lindsay. Well, a house catches fire in a garage in Joplin. It happened yesterday evening at 620 Plaza Drive. Smoke could be seen from the garage moving its way into the attic and other living areas of the house. The Joplin Fire Department was able to contain the fire primarily in the garage, and residents of the home were evacuated safely. There are no reports of injuries, and the fire has been ruled accidental. And Joplin Fire says that a lithium battery could not be ruled out as the cause. The 4th of July is less than a week away, and local fire departments and fireworks stores are giving tips on how you can stay safe this Independence Day. According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, 9,700 people were treated in the ER for firework-related injuries last year. 66% of those injuries occurred in the weeks leading up to following the 4th of July. 8 deaths from fireworks were also reported last year, and Pittsburgh first responders say it's important to take caution even before you start lighting off fireworks.
One of the things that we're doing this year is we're upping our staffing. We're going to make sure that we have max staffing in the city of Pittsburgh. Just in the event that we do need the extra manpower for responding to calls, events of fires, that sort of thing. So yeah, we're preparing and planning for that, and going to be ready for anything that comes our way.
Well, if you do have an emergency during the 4th, you're encouraged to call 911. The Grand River Dam Authority has a caution for people heading to a lake or river for the July 4th holiday. Boat safe smart, and sober. The holiday is typically one of the busiest times on the water, and GRDA police say they'll be out in full force to perform patrols, assist boaters, and of course, promote safe outings. Among their tips, wear a life jacket, don't boat or float alone, and don't drink and boat. They say most serious boating accidents involve alcohol. Well, Freeman's week-long summer program is exposing teenagers to a variety of roles in the medical field in Joplin. Students learn about bacteria, hospital functions, and even how to stop a bleed. 28 students are enrolled in Freeman's Health Academy, and organizers say the program has been growing ever since its return in 2023.
I see so many different areas that you only kind of hear about. You don't get to go and get up close and more hands-on, so that was really cool. And then we also are doing growing cultures for the lab, and so that is cool also.
Freeman Health Academy will have 2 week-long sessions in July. The public rolled into the Skateland Fun Center of Neosho last night for a good time and a good cause. The event raised money for the Children's Miracle Network, which helps local children and families with medical needs such as prescriptions, medical equipment, and specialty care. A $10 entry fee got people in the door, and all the proceeds went to CMN.
The money goes to whether they need gas to go to Kansas City, do they need lodging to stay there for long periods of time. It goes to any kind of surgeries or special therapies. Anything like that, Children's Miracle Network covers 100%.
Children's Miracle Network means the world to us because Vincent was born with multiple health issues, and because of Children's Miracle Network, we have a seizure monitor, and that's something I could never have afforded without their help.
Every dollar raised locally stays local, and donations help children and their families in 14 counties in Missouri, Oklahoma, and Kansas. Young area musicians took part in a workshop yesterday. Pitt State hosted the first day of its string camp, which focuses on stringed instruments. Yesterday, they focused on technique and rehearsing, and it all culminates later today in a concert for friends and family. Well, coming up, the first presidential debate of 2024 took place last night between President Biden and former President Trump. We'll have the details on the big night. And later, we're making flank steak pinwheels in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Well, President Biden and former President Trump are returning to the campaign trail now that the first presidential debate is in the books. Political watchers saw a shaky performance for the sitting president and noted plenty of unchecked falsehoods from the former president. Jared Hill reports from Atlanta, in the battleground state where the debate took place.
The first ever debate between a sitting president
and I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on
and a former president.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Is giving voters a lot to consider. Early in the night, viewers heard President Biden's voice falter and answers that trailed off.
Dealing with everything we have to do with look.
On the other side of the stage, Trump delivered falsehoods on his economic record.
We have the greatest economy in the history of our country.
His legal troubles.
He indicted me because I was his opponent.
And abortion.
He's willing to, as we say, rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month and kill the baby.
That is simply not true. We are not for late-term abortion, period. Period.
With just about 4 months until the election, both candidates are already on the campaign trail again, trying to sway undecided voters. After his performance last night, some Democrats are openly contemplating whether it's too late to replace Biden on the ticket. The House Democratic leader was asked whether Biden should step down.
Should he step aside?
Post-debate, many Republicans are celebrating their presumptive nominee.
Donald Trump is the only man on that stage that's qualified and capable of serving as the next president.
As of now, both candidates are still committed to meeting on the debate stage again in September. Jared Hill, CBS News, Atlanta, Georgia.
Well, President Biden is campaigning in Raleigh, North Carolina today, while former President Trump is courting voters in Chesapeake, Virginia, as he looks to make a play for that state. A Texas grand jury indicted 2 former Uvalde School District police officers on Thursday. Former school district police chief Pete Arredondo and former school police officer Adrian Gonzalez are facing felony charges of abandoning and endangering a child. Their indictments represent the first criminal charges filed in the May 2022 mass shooting at Robb Elementary School. The massacre left 19 children and 2 teachers dead. Earlier this year, the Justice Department released a damning report that found law enforcement officers botched their response to the tragedy. The Texas Department of Public Safety confirms that Arredondo turned himself into authorities Thursday night. A jail official says Arredondo was booked on 10 counts of child endangerment and no criminal negligence. Well, still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Join us today as we demystify the meat case by cooking up a longtime favorite in a whole new way.
And we do have heat continuing to warm up as well as summer severe weather. We'll talk about it right after the break. Well, we've got summer heat and summer severe weather coming in today and through the rest of the weekend. But luckily, taking a look outside, 7th and Rangeline, it's looking pretty good. We've got some partly cloudy skies, but there is some clearing. We had overcast conditions this morning, and luckily, well, Joplin stayed dry, but luckily we got a little bit of rain, especially in those northern counties, and we need it. We don't want it with the severe weather, but we do want the rain because unfortunately we're getting back into those drought conditions as we continue to heat up for the summer and not see a lot of rainfall. We've also got an excessive heat warning, and that is in the pink over here for Craig, Nowata, and Washington County. That's due to heat advisory getting up, or heat index getting up to 114 degrees. And then we've got a heat advisory issue that's in that pale pink color, and that's until 8 p.m. tonight due to heat index getting up to 108 today. So it's going to be pretty hot, especially in those western and southern counties, and likely that'll continue as we move into the weekend. We do see the heat index continuing to rise on Saturday, so more than likely we will start to see some more heat advisories issued throughout the weekend as well. Now, we're good right now. We had a few showers passing by, a couple more still lingering, but as we continue into the rest of the day and evening, it's going to be pretty nice, partly cloudy skies until we get into the evening time. Then we start to see those storms starting to roll in. Until then, we're dealing with the heat, so we're getting up to about 96 today out in Joplin, 92 in Pittsburgh, 98 Independence, 97 Sedan, and then tomorrow even warmer. Now, this is just a model run, so we're likely going to be a couple degrees cooler than this, but 100 in Joplin, so likely getting up to about 98, 99. And then you can see in the far western counties, a lot warmer than the northern and the eastern counties. That paired with humidity values, we're dealing with some pretty high heat indexes today and tomorrow. Now, we've also got isolated storms this evening, and they continue through the morning hours on Saturday. So we're dealing with scattered thunderstorms tonight and into the weekend. Now, main threat with this storm is coming in around 8:39. We see a bit of a bowing segment, and then we start to see a gust front ahead of it where that little line of clouds are. You can see those winds breaking right there. So that's going to be a gust front pushing in ahead of those scattered thunderstorms, which means strong wind gusts are the main threat, but they're mostly just going to stay in those northern and northeastern counties as they pass by. Some stronger, possibly severe storms with this event, but it continues all overnight up to 7:30 Saturday, and then it starts to shift off to the east. We've got mostly clear day on Saturday, but then we start to see those more isolated storms and scattered storms continue back into the evening. Saturday is at 11 p.m. We've got them mostly scattered across most of our central counties, and they'll continue through. We've got those chances pretty much all day, all night Saturday and into Sunday as well. We've got a elevated risk just for our east and north counties over there, and then a low risk for storms tomorrow. It's not looking too bad, but we'll keep an eye on it. You can never, especially with the storms that we got earlier this week, when we have stronger wind gusts, it's still a possibility that damage will occur. Now, temperatures cool off on Sunday down to 87, and then we'll warm back up by midweek up to 100, just in time for the 4th of July. But unfortunately, there might be some scattered thunderstorm chances with that.
Well, I think we said it earlier in the morning. It's going to be a muggy mess this
It is
week.
going to be a muggy mess. I'm going to use that. I forgot about it, but
There
I'm
you
going to
go.
use that because
It's
that
for you to
describes
use.
it perfectly this weekend. It's going to be muggy and hot and stormy, very chaotic
Ugh,
this
no
weekend.
fun. All
Yeah.
right. Thanks, Lindsay. Well, stick around. We're making flank steak pinwheels in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. We'll be right back. Today's Mr. Food recipe is a mouth-watering savory meal that's perfect as a Sunday night dinner. Howard is showing us how to make flank steak pinwheels in the Mr. Food Test kitchen.
When you stop by the meat case, do you feel overwhelmed? If you do, you're not alone. It can get pretty confusing. But if each week you pick up one cut of meat and get familiar with it, in no time, you'll feel like a pro. To get things going, today we're going to use one of my favorite budget cuts, flank steak. To start, we butterfly it. That simply means that we cut it in half horizontally, almost all the way through, so it opens up like a book. Then we sprinkle with a mixture of Italian breadcrumbs, Parmesan cheese, and olive oil. Over that, we place a layer of sliced salami and provolone cheese. We roll it up jelly roll style and secure it with bamboo skewers. After trimming it, we cut slices about an inch or so thick, making sure that each piece is secured with a skewer. Then sear these off on a grill or in a skillet and finish them off in the oven. Serve these for a quick weeknight dinner. Everyone will think you fussed all day. To get the recipe for our flank steak pinwheels, all you have to do is check out our website. I'm Howard of the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a meat and cheesy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
Well, we've got some storms rolling in this evening, not to mention we've got heat advisories and excessive heat warnings for the area due to heat index getting up to 108, possibly even 114 degrees. So it's going to be pretty hot, pretty muggy today and tomorrow as well. And then storm chances return tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday.
What a way to kick off July.
It really is. You know, we're just being stormy all the way to 4th of July.
Sounds like it. All right, thanks. And coming up tonight at 5, it's the hottest selling condiment right now, figuratively and literally. Tonight in Consumer Watch, we're going to see why hot sauce is having a moment. Plus, we'll hear from the Pittsburgh City Manager about the city's trash service plan. And the Creative Learning Alliance in Joplin announces the name of its future science center. And join us for those stories and more on KOAM News at 5. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. Have a great rest of your day.